Hello and welcome everybody. Today is a new day and we are going to begin a new topic for the ICSE student. As you are constantly requesting me, there are many of you who are requesting me for the all summers in a day, which is included in the semester 2 exam. We will discuss the topic all summer in a day today, and I hope you will find it very easy as nothing is difficult over here. And As we go on, we will be able to see the different shades of the story and enjoy it also. So without any delay, let's begin. And yes, if you like it, do not forget to subscribe and like my channel. All Summer in a Day, written by Ray Bradbury. Ready? Ready. Now? Soon. Do the scientists really know? Will it happen today? Will it? Look, see for yourself. So, from the first communication between two people or two or three people, we see that they are waiting for something desperately. They want to see something, and the scientists have said something, and some of them are depending on it, some of them are doubtful about it. So, let's see what is it actually about. The children pressed to each other like so many roses, so many weeds intermixed, peering out for a look at the hidden sun. So, the real thing is they are waiting for the sun. Now, immediate question is why are they suddenly waiting for the sun? It rained. It had been raining for 7 years. Now, this is another question. How come it is raining for 7 years? It does not rain on earth for so long. Thousands upon thousands of days, compounded and filled from one end to the other with rain, with the drum and gush of water, with the sweet crystal fall of showers. Drum and gush, you will see in many places, the author uses different words for rain. So these are also the words for rain. Constantly it kept on raining, raining, and raining. That is expressed through these words. With the sweet crystal fall of showers and the concussion. Concussion means violent shocks. Like there was always shocks of storms and they were very much heavy. Okay, and because there were so many storms, what happened? There were tidal waves. Okay, there was a flood, and it came over the islands. 1,000 forests had been crushed under the rain. Naturally, it is constantly raining, so the forests will be crushed as it happens during storms and grown up 1,000 times to be crushed again. So more rain, more trees are growing, and they are again being crushed by the storms. Again, they are growing. This continues. And this was the way life was forever on the planet Venus. And this was the schoolroom of the children of the rocket men and women. So these are the children, and they are what? They are what are they called? It can come as a MCQ type question. They are called the rocket men and women. Okay, because once upon a time they came on a rocket to this planet. So this is planet Venus. So here we know that among the many planets that we have in the solar system, from Earth, somehow these people have shifted to Venus for a reason. Maybe Earth became so difficult to survive in. They had to move because of the storms, because of climate change and all. They had to move to another planet in rockets, had come to a raining world to set up civilization and live out their lives. So, because it was constantly raining, Venice is also called a raining world, and they had no other choice. They had to come over here. Yes, yes, Margaret stood apart from them, from these children who could ever remember a time when there wasn't rain and rain and rain. They were all 9 years old, and if there had been a day 7 years ago when the sun came for an hour and showed its face to the stunned world, they could not recall. Stunned world, like the world was shocked, something amazed. So the thing is, people will be shocked when something new happens. So after 7 long years, it stopped raining and there was sun, and they were 9 years old. So 7 years back, it had one sunny day, that also for a single hour. So that means they were only 2 years old then, isn't it? These children. So they don't even remember it properly. Sometimes at night she heard them stir in remembrance. Who is this she? This is Margaret, another little child over there. So she had seen those boys and girls of the school, stir, move in remembrance when they thought. And she knew they were dreaming and remembering gold or a yellow crayon or a large coin a coin large enough to buy the world with. So, what did they think about the sun? That it was like a coin, or it was something like a yellow or gold crayon. Only this much they remember. They have forgotten. How many things do you remember when you were just 2 years old? Isn't it? We forget. She knew they thought they remembered a warmness like a blushing in the face, in the body, in the arms and legs and trembling hands. So they knew that it was kind of a warm thing that gave you a redness, that made you feel warm in your hands, bodies, and your face. But then they always awoke to the tattling drum, endless shaking down of clear bead necklaces upon the roof, the walk, the gardens, the forest, and their dreams were gone. So when they woke up, all their dreams were shattered because of this constant rainfall, the pattering of rainfall. When the rains fall on the roof or on the windows, you will see there is some kind of sound. So that sound is called the pattering of rainfall, the tatting drum. These are the words that he wrote in his story just to show that there was constant rain. No, it was like when the bead necklaces will tear and it will fall. You can hear the sound of the falling pearls. No, like that. It will rain. All day yesterday, they had read in class about the sun, about how like a lemon it was and how hot. And they had written small stories or essays or poems about it. I think the sun is a flower that blooms for just an hour. You see, this is the poem of Margot. Margot wrote the poem that this is like a flower. This is something. What do you mean by flower? Obviously, Margaret loved the sun. And what is the sad story behind it? That they can see the sun for only 1 hour. That is also after every 7 years. Such a sad story. So, to everybody, these children were told to write before summer vacation. We are told to write, no, write something. How you want to spend your summer vacation, how you want to spend your winter vacation, winter holidays. We are told to write on it before something happens. To imagine what would it be like. Same way, they were also told to write poems or essays on it. So many of them wrote, and this is Margaret's poem. Read in a quiet voice, the still classroom, while the rain was falling outside. Oh, you didn't write that, protested one of the boys. I did, said Margaret. I did. William, said the teacher, but that was yesterday. Now the rain was slackening and the children were crushed in the great thick windows. Where's teacher? She'll be back. She'd better hurry, we'll miss it. So when we know that nobody liked in the school, nobody liked Margaret in the school. So when she wrote the poem and read it out, there was this boy, William, who was teasing her that this is not possible. You cannot write this poem on your own. So the teacher stopped him there. But the bullying continued, we will soon see. So they are waiting for the teacher. The teacher is not there. They turned on themselves like a feverish wheel, all tumbling spokes. Margaret stood alone. She was a very frail girl who looked as if she had been lost in the rain for years, and the rain had washed out the blue from her eyes, and the red from her mouth, and the yellow from her hair. That means she was so fond of that sun and she missed it so much that she lost all color waiting for it. She felt dull within her. Okay. So she was just like an old photograph dusted from an album, whitened away. And if she spoke at all, her voice would be a ghost. So this is the condition of Margaret. From here we understand that she was not at all fond of the rain. She was afraid of it. She felt that it is washing away everything, all happiness from her. Now she stood separate. Spoke at all means she did not even speak much. Now she stood separate, staring at the rain and the loud, wet world beyond the huge glass. What are you looking at? Said William. Margaret said nothing. Speak when you are spoken to, he gave her a shove. So he pushed and said, what are you looking at? But she didn't move. Rather, she let herself be moved only by him and nothing else. So she was just like a ghost. When she is pushed, she just moves, but she does not respond or react. They edged away from her, they would not look at her. She felt them go away. And this was because now these are the reasons, very important for a 4 mark question, or three, sorry, for the 3 mark question. So she would play no games with them in the echoing tunnels of the underground city, just like this picture you see. This is the place where they lived, underground, not on top, because of rapid storms, thunders, and all. Maybe they could not survive on the top of the earth, so they had to hide underneath in underground cities, quite like rats. If they tagged her and ran, she stood blinking after them and it did not follow. So even when they played kind of games like tagging and running, hide and seek, she will play nothing with them. When the class sang songs about happiness and games, her lips barely moved. So she did not even sing songs in the class. She was not happy. Only when they sang about the sun and the summer did her lips move as she watched the drenched windows. So it is only the sun that she is interested about, otherwise, she will keep as silent as a dead body. And then, of course, the biggest crime of all was that she had come here only 5 years ago from Earth, and she remembered the sun and the way the sun was in the sky was when she was 4 in Ohio. So she lived in Ohio, and we know that she came after some time, not at the same time when the children came over here. Okay, so she has come over here only 4 years back. That means she remembers the sun. She was in Ohio when she was 4. That means now they are 9. So the children have seen the sun, the other children have seen the sun when they were just 2 years old. And Margaret had this opportunity to live in Earth, and she was there till 4 years of her age. That means she remembers the sun better, isn't it? And then they had been on Venus all their lives, and they had been only 2 years old when last the sun came out, and had long since forgotten the color and heat of it and the way it really was. Naturally, 2 year memory we do not remember, so they have forgotten. But Margaret remembers a bit better. But Margaret remembered, it's like a penny. No, it's not, the children cried. It's like a fire in the stove. You're lying, you don't remember, cried the children. But she remembered and stood quietly apart from all of them and watched the patterning windows. So she knows it better. She knows it is very warm, something like the stove, the fire in the stove. But others do not feel like giving her any importance, because maybe they were a bit jealous of her because because she saw the sun a bit more than them. And once a month ago, she had refused to shower in the school shower rooms, had clutched her hands to her ears and over her head, screaming the water mustn't touch her head. She was so stressed with the sound of the rain. Imagine, even she is afraid to shower. When the water was falling on her head, she tried to hide herself so that it could not touch her body and take away everything from her. So after that, dimly she sensed it. She was different and they knew her difference and kept her. There was talk that her father and mother were taking her back to Earth next year. It seemed vital to her that they do so, though it would mean the loss of thousands of dollars to her family. Margaret's family, had decided to take Margaret to Earth again because otherwise she would not survive, because she was suffering so much without the sun that maybe she will die here. So, although it was a very cost effective, very much costly thing, her parents have to take her to Earth. That made all the other children all the more jealous. And so the children hated her for all these reasons of big and little consequences. They hated her pale snow face, her waiting silence, her thinness, and her possible future. These are the reasons for hating her. You will also add those points that she did not play with them. She had seen the sun more days than them. All these points. Get away! The boy gave her another push. What are you waiting for? Then, for the first time, she turned and looked at him. And what she was waiting for, was in her eyes. So it could be understood that she was waiting for the sun. Well, don't wait around here, cried the boy savagely. You won't see anything. Her lips moved. Nothing, he cried. It was all a joke, wasn't it? He turned to the other children. Nothing's happening today, is it? So nothing is going to happen today. He falsely says this to Margaret, that nothing is going to happen. You can go now. This is what? This is just bullying the child, just bothering the child, because they hated her. They all blinked at him and then, understanding, laughed and shook their heads. So this boy, William, he makes a face, he blinks at the other children, and they also understand and they also join his joke. Nothing, nothing. Oh, but Margaret whispered, her eyes helpless. But this is the day the scientists predict. They say they know. The sun. All a joke, said the boy and seized her roughly. Hey, everyone, let's put her in the closet before the teacher comes. So, what they are trying to do, they are trying to avoid her from seeing the sun. Because when somebody is jealous, they do certain things which they later regret. So, they decide to put her in the closet so that she cannot see the. So that, it is just a kind of bully. Okay. No, said Margaret, falling back. They surged about her, caught her up, and bore her, protesting and then pleading, and then crying, back into the tunnel, a room, a closet, where they slammed and locked the door. So they took her through a door and put her in a room where there was a closet inside the closet and locked it. So Margaret was inside. They stood looking at the door and saw it tremble from her beating and throwing herself against it. They heard her muffled cries. They smiled, then smiling, they turned and went out and back down the tunnel, just as the teacher arrived. So here we see how how the boy, the children did not like Margaret, and how they put her inside the inside that closet. We also see that they are living in Venice, and Venice is a place which is a raining world. It constantly rains. Only 1 hour they can see the sun. That also every 7 years. So that's all from this part. Another part and the whole topic will be over. If you have any doubts, do let me know. And I hope you have liked it and you will subscribe to my channel. It is a great pleasure to see 7,000 children over here joined with me, working with me, and helping each other out. Okay, thank you so much. That's all. Bye bye.